All right, guys, so I am going to be covering a list of products that you specifically sent me. And a lot of these products you guys wanted to test but weren't totally sure, or you were like, hey, is this a good product? Yes, go ahead and put this in the video for the students. And so basically this video is gonna serve as a benchmark or kind of an example of what I kind of do as far as my thinking process, what I immediately see inside the landscape. It's going to be like extra details on top of the list I give you guys. It's really going to be helpful, because we actually have a lot of good products. And obviously the first one that we're looking at is the Power Knee Brace. So one thing I wanna mention right off the bat, and something to be careful of, is that when we see products like this, that seems like more of like a drop shipping kind of spammy style Facebook product. Now this in particular is borderline. I don't know if it works, I don't know if it's a gimmick, but right now if I was to pull up on my list, I would see like, ooh, risky refund rate percentage might be a little bit high. But even more than that, if I look at, even aside from the refund rate percentage, what I've noticed is with products like this, products like the posture corrector, notice it gets flooded with sellers. Some people look a little bit different, whatnot, but really it's like the same kind of look and feel, right? Now this landscape you could see, okay, you know, drop shipping style right here again, kind of that drop shipping style. You could even see like by the name, Super Wishes, Inspire Uplift, big drop shipping store. Whether or not this works, I'm not totally sure, like I mentioned before. Another thing is like hearing aids. You could see like how that got just obliterated, and I'm gonna show you a good contrasting example. However, here's what's interesting. This product also has a lot of good check marks. If we looked at the margin, like if we look at the margin, okay, great, like margin is good, margin is good. If we wanted to look at some of the landing pages, like I could look at some of the landing pages, oh yes, like we could definitely see some opportunity with the landing page as far as making this more branded, like Happy Peak, like this is hilarious. However, I think that, you know, if I wanted to put in a lot of my effort, I could squeeze out still $2,000 a month in profit. But for the amount of effort I would have to put in, there's no point to try this. Like it's just not a good landscape, because it would probably just consistently get harder and harder. However, if I show you a different example, let me try to find it. So a good example is like this. Look how straightforward this is. First of all, there are like 0 sellers, like 1 seller, Tool Lots. Now this is truthfully like a unicorn. And the way I found this product was literally by going on eSniper, going down a rabbit hole, and just literally just coming across this. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I'd want to find this on Alibaba. I'd want to research this niche and make sure this isn't patented or something, because it's really odd how there's only 1 seller. But you can see that this isn't necessarily going to get blown up by like a Facebook dropshipper and say like, oh, you know, let's flood these listings with like, you know, trendy deals and all these weird shops. So this looks legitimate, and a more long-term kind of landscape I could see right off the bat. Now, also, I didn't mention this in the beginning, but as I'm going through all of these products, I'm hoping that you can, there's some things that it's hard to like put on a sheet, like training the eye, like seeing exactly like why I like certain products more than others. And so I'm hoping I can kind of convey that in this video and other videos. Like another good example was this. I mentioned this on my YouTube. Love, love, love this example. In fact, let me break this down. Notice that first of all, practice putting mats. When someone is typing this in, it's just like straight to the point. Like practice putting mats, boom. Second thing, margin. Yes, there's plenty of margin. I could see that there's different mats here. Like there's no gimmick, there's no spam, there's no nothing. It's perfect. I love it. And also, if we look at their landing page, terrible landing page. I'll open this up real quick, but we can get their product for $60 on Alibaba. I've showed it on YouTube. However, you know, no one really has the checklist that I give you guys along with all the detail. So we can get this product for literally $60. And so right off the bat, great margin, check mark. I love the landscape. Absolutely love it. I don't care if there was an Amazon right here or a Walmart right here. I don't care. Absolutely love it. Also, landing page. Notice how there's no relatability. I want to really hammer this home, because this is just focusing on selling the product. We need to invoke emotion, and we need to like speak to whatever pain someone has. If they're getting this because they simply want to beat their friends in golf, or they're getting this for straight pleasure, we need to have like, hey, I'm just like you, like literally a person right here. We need a face, we need a hero shot of the product, we need to also have our like FAQ, and we need to explain all the benefits. I guarantee you this company is getting a ton of questions, and all their questions, they need to put this on that landing page, and their conversion rate would skyrocket. Also, if we made this look more legitimate, give the colors of golf. Like there needs to be the color scheme of golf. And then there was a question like, oh, well, what about my buttons? Like what button color should I pick? Guys, if you put in everything together, your button color could be pink. It doesn't matter. We need to put the main things on the page. I mean, truthfully, if I'm to go back on it, choose a color that always pops. So a really good way to choose your button colors is to choose a color that's opposite of whatever colors you have on your landing page. So instead of maybe opposite, what I should have said is something that isn't used on your landing page yet. So if you're using green and blue, use like an orange button, something that is different and it just stands out. So anyway, you guys have the whole landing page structure, but I just want to say how much we could change about this. And plus, these testimonials look very fake. This is not relatable. This looks like actual like pros, and I mean, no one like whited out background. It's not right. Super good example, and it checks the checklist. Another thing, actually, I want to break this down even further, is how low is too low of search volume? It's tough to say how low too low is, but if I see that I want to sell this product and there's no one if I don't see anyone else selling this product that I want to sell, like if I'm in underwater basket weaving and I randomly came across this from like a friend of some weird idea of underwater basket weaving, and I type in underwater basket weaving and I see no one popping up, that's a really good sign that you should not do this. But if you're typing in practice putting mats or whatever, and you see only like 700 searches a month, like what we're seeing right now, this is totally fine because there are other companies selling this exact item. Now, how profitable will it be? How much money will it make? You can never calculate by search volume. You're always gonna have to just like poke a little bit, right? You're just gonna have to poke and see, okay, how much opportunity is spewing out. That is the best way to see, okay, is this really, really gonna work? And you never know until you just start digging for gold. Like you see the gold is right there. It's like, I think it's right there. Well, eventually you just got to pick up the shovel and just start digging. Anyway, I don't want to take too long in this example, but I hope that makes sense. Now, the next example I had was this baby thermometer forehead. So another person sent this one in, and I actually think it's a very good example. I like this. I like this product. A little bit of a high of a price point. We can maybe just do it a little bit lower. I looked for this product on Alibaba. Let's see if we can find it. Boom, there it is. So very good, $18. And if we go back, it literally looks like the same. It's so funny. Couple things why I like it. First of all, I like how this device works. I could imagine it not having too many refunds. I could imagine it just like this has good value to it in my opinion. And if we actually open it, I already had it opened. If we have it opened, I see the landing page and it's not very good. One thing I did notice though is that these people put a good title. So I could tell that they are really big on Google, and they put their keywords up here, which is fantastic. Like good for them, like great job. They just need to make their landing page maybe a little bit better. I mean, you could honestly put in so much emotion, like this is the only thing I trust to put on my baby. Like this is accurate. This helped me, whatever. You're gonna have to learn your customer. Maybe go on Amazon and see why people are buying this. That is like they're literally telling you why they buy this. So that is one thing I would immediately do. But do I like this product? Yes. Like I think it's actually great. Definitely worth to test. Another thing I want to mention is you notice how I kept going to Alibaba. Why am I doing that? It doesn't mean that we always have to ship from Alibaba. Absolutely not. Remember, I'm looking just for the overall like idea price, right? The idea price of like how much is this really worth, or how much can I get it for? I could always negotiate, but I just want the general idea. AliExpress will always be a little bit more expensive because you're really dealing with third-party resellers. So people in China that buy it from a manufacturer that are now on AliExpress and literally resell the goods. So that's why when you have problems drop shipping or anything, you're like, Wait, what's going on? Well, though you're dealing with a very long link in the chain. So in this course, I'm also going to give you guys access to my dropshipping agent. So there's a dropshipping agent. There was one that I was using that honestly, thank God, I'm switching over to a different real company. You guys are going to absolutely love this agent. They can source the products. They're honest. They're real. You have great communication, literally everything I was lacking. And on top of that, I'm going to be going over fulfillment centers and everything. I just wanted to put that early on right now, just in case you're wondering. It's literally really easy. So, okay. So that's the baby monitor. I noticed like if I'm looking at my checklist to the right, it checks the boxes very well. Now I just need to kind of create the landing page, put it up, and see how well it does. And now what's interesting is like if I see that this is doing okay or well, maybe I'm like, well, let me try something else in this niche, and maybe it'll even do even better. And so remember, the beauty of this strategy is that we can take a good product and keep finding throughout the data of ideas of making it even better. We don't even have to edit the product if we don't want to. We could just test a different product. Maybe people are searching for something else. Maybe they're asking for something else, and we could see. That's exactly what happened with my case study store. Originally, I was just selling one product, right? Socks. And then through the idea of a customer, several of them, I started selling the boxers, which took off. It was insane. Anyway, so the next thing I want to show you is this. So right off the bat, if I look at the landscape, which seems to look a little bit more on the dropshipping side and gamified, if I was to say, but truthfully, this is a gaming niche. Now, I try to stay away from video games because like literally playing, not selling. So I don't know this space that well as far as like a consumer. But I did see this product. I thought it was like, kind of looked like a Batman controller. I thought it looked really cool. So if I open it, I'm like, okay, cool. Well, immediately, whenever I see things like this, I'm like, okay, dropshipping style, which is fine. It's not bad. I just know that like, okay, interesting. And if I go to Alibaba, I see the exact controller. So it does have the margin, and that's good. That's always important to me to see some type of margin, because I want to make sure that there is some room for me to spend, some opportunity. Like it's just supply and demand, like there is opportunity. Now, if I'm to simplify why I don't really like this too much, well, first of all, I kind of think about my demographic. So I'm looking at my demographic and I'm like, who is usually going to buy this? And I'm like, I already don't like the idea of the customers I'd be getting. These are, gamers. They love this endorphin rush. Like, I have nothing against gamers. I mean, a lot of my friends are, but I know, like, these aren't the easiest customers, I bet, to deal with. And also, how am I going to, I guess, give them a bigger endorphin rush with this product versus any other product to where I convince them to buy this versus anything else? That's not to say, actually, like, this might be doing just fine. In a way, it might be doing fine. But in my head, it doesn't make me excited to test this product and to turn it into a brand. I don't really like the demographic too much. But however, keep in mind, it's like someone saying, oh, I prefer blondes, and another person saying, I prefer brunettes. Like, it's an opinion, right? So, I don't know. That's the best answer I can possibly give. It doesn't even check the boxes for me, and it's hard for me to see how I can really, kick it up a notch. Even just thinking right now, how can I be creative and, put in all the benefits, all the features, say it's so much better, this is the brand, this is the best controller. I just don't know how I can really blast it out of the water unless it was something super odd and unique. Like, this kind of caught my eye right now. But if I was to switch gears a little bit, okay, right? I didn't really like the demographic, just not for me, and I just don't see how I can differentiate too much or just invoke that emotion to like, yes, this is the product for me. On the other side, I want to actually show you this. So these are Wi-Fi boosters, and I thought that was very interesting. The reason why is because this, like, I can see how I can differentiate in this, and if this is legal and I'm actually able to sell a product that works, I'm all for it. I don't mind if there's Google or West Elm or Best Buy. I don't mind that at all, because you know what's happening with these big box brands? they're going out of business. They don't know how to advertise online, and they're going out of business because they don't understand. They don't understand even half the things that you now understand, literally going even midway through the course. Now, I like this because if I go on Alibaba, I can see that, oh, wow, there actually are Wi-Fi boosters that, shoot, it could possibly work. I would really want to look more into this space. I would have to learn a lot more because this is more of a, like, you need to be on top of your game. You need to understand exactly what your product does, why someone is going to buy this, but could it work? Yeah, like, in my opinion, this is interesting. Especially because, first of all, I see immediately that this is a very big space. So maybe I could go a little bit deeper into Wi-Fi boosters and be like, Wi-Fi boosters for, I don't know, top levels, or I don't know, something like, let me think of something like a little bit more niche down, because this is huge. So I would actually type in like plug-in Wi-Fi booster, like what we have right here. Now we can see, okay, oh, well, we can look at this. Like, I would look at this because it looks like this is branded, this is more legitimate, this is straightforward. If someone is typing in for a plug-in Wi-Fi booster, I could see how, I could differentiate myself a little bit. Oh, this booster is more compact, or it works better, or we specialize in just plug-in Wi-Fi boosters, right? You want to be a little bit more niche down. Because I like how simple it is. It's not dropified. It's not like a drop shipping style kind of product. It is like, you can explain the benefits and features. Can you put much emotion into it? Not really, but you can also, but at the same time you can. Like, how frustrated do people get over like their Wi-Fi, not like reaching the top level, or be like, hey, this is the only Wi-Fi that actually works through my thick walls, right? Like, I have problems. Like, I like this. Like, I would buy something that works. And then also probably reiterating, like, yes, this works, like, best reviews, and, you can get it at the best price of like $75. That's just my thought process. And keep in mind, this isn't just for like a Wi-Fi booster. You can do this for any odd niche. In fact, the next example I'm going to give is perfect. So the next product I had was this. So Braille, it was actually a Braille sign. I thought that was super interesting. The reason why I thought that was interesting was because Braille is a very interesting niche. I would have never thought ever. I like weird niches. I like weird things like that. Like, weird things like that, you just keep kind of going down that little hole and you're like, okay, what's this? What's this? Ooh. And then eventually you come across a niche. You're like, I would have never thought of this. Let's see what I could sell in here. Because you can come in, apply some of the best strategies, literally, and sell something that checks all the boxes and is super simple. It's like someone's typing this in, boom, it pops up, and you have just a killer everything. I mean, your conversion rate is going to be through the roof. So I like this. I just wouldn't sell a sign. So if I'm to go back on the actual product given, one thing that I thought was really crazy is like they're selling this sign for $67. Like, I don't understand that, but the only thing I don't like is like I can't really explain the features of this sign and convey my message very well on the landing page like I like to do. Like, if I wanted to explain width and height, like, it's not, for me, this doesn't excite me. For someone else it might. Like, they'll be like, oh, this is simple, I'm gonna just try it. If you guys want to give it a shot and test something that's more simple and try that, that's fine. Now, for me, I like to have a little bit more, like, kind of a little bit more wiggle room to work with and try to really like push the value inside that product. It's really hard for me to push a lot of value into this. It's like I'm kind of selling like toilet paper in a way. It's very just simple. It's like, I need to get that real quick. So what I want to recap in this video is what we went over and what to take away from it. First of all, I want to cover that every time I'm looking at a product, I like to see the landscape, and immediately, since I've been looking at so many different products, I want to make sure that the product actually works. And does this work? Does it not? I don't know. I've never tried it. I could probably look up the reviews immediately and know, like, right off the bat, but I could already tell this is like more of a Facebook style product that is definitely going to be like more of an uphill battle. It's definitely going to be a lot of competition. So if I was to contrast that, remember this example right here. And a couple good examples, even what you guys gave me was this. Like, for example, if something checks all the boxes, that's worth it. It's worth it to try, in my opinion. Like at the end of the day, you got to test it. You got to test it and try it. And you put all these strategies together, most likely you're going to get conversions. You might honestly not waste a single dollar. So anyway, this was really good. I appreciate you guys sending me these products, and let's go ahead and continue through the other modules.